What happened with the Steadfast Tin Soldier was this odd confluence of events. The first one is that Walt Disney had wanted to make a compilation movie of the stories of Hans Christian Andersen, and several of the Disney artists did a whole pastel series about different Hans Christian Andersen stories.
Back in the 30s, there was an artist named Bianca Majoli who was asked to create sketches for this very piece. And they wanted to put it in with a whole nother movie about Hans Christian Andersen.
So that idea was sitting in our animation research library. Then Roy Disney comes in and says, I would like to do a piece based on the Shostakovich Piano Concerto No. 2, known to us as the bouncy, bouncy music, because he would play this music and his daughter would bounce on his knee when she was a tiny, tiny little girl.
Roy Disney came in with the music of the Shostakovich piece, the piano concerto, and he just said, I don't know if there's anything here, but just listen to it.
He had been listening to the music and idly leafing through a book of illustrations for a little fairy tale called The Steadfast Tin Soldier, which had been made at Disney as a potential short fairy tale, and they'd done some storyboards on it. They dug the storyboards up out of the morgue and printed them as a little book, and which Handel had.
And he just sat down by himself one day and put them together. And it was a miracle.
The structure fit so perfectly with the music that I began to get really excited about it.
Handel called me about 3 days later and said, come over and look at this. We all looked at it and said, oh, well, score one for the good guys, you know, that was too easy.
The Tin Soldier piece has sort of a book illustration style to it, which is very beautiful, and we were able to lay in these computer-generated characters, and they're blended very well. And because they're toys, it was a great use of the technology.
It's hard to remember now in the year 2000, but we were making those little toy soldiers before there was a Toy Story.
The marriage of 3D characters on traditional painted backgrounds works beautifully. I was amazed to see it in color, all put together. It looks wonderful, luscious, deep, rich colors, and it really does feel like it belongs in the movie. It has a classical, almost timeless feel that we were all trying to get.
The interesting decision I thought that was made pretty early was to stick with hand-painted backgrounds and operate the CGI characters in front of conventional hand-painted backgrounds. It really made a big difference, I think, because it really brought the little toys out here in the foreground as real objects operating against a kind of a fairy tale hand-painted background. The story had to be absolutely perfectly told and emotional, so that it didn't matter whether we made it on a computer or not.
And something about the rhythmical rigor of this piece found its way also into the animation, so that the animation has a rhythmical vitality and a line, an arc, which is thrilling.
But it's completely based on the story that Andersen told, as interpreted by Disney artists, as reinterpreted by us, put with the music that Roy brought in. It was extraordinary. It was this harmonic convergence, if you will, of idea, music, and artist all together.